What's going on, guys? My name is Doug. Welcome to the channel if you're new. If you're not new, then welcome back. I'm glad you decided to come back and watch another video of mine. So today, Future dropped an EP very shortly after dropping his last album, The Wizard, you know, and personally, I wasn't too fond of it. I thought that there were some really cool tracks on that album, but for the most part, it just felt a little underwhelming. It felt like, you know, it was too long, and he didn't really put forth enough of an effort into every single track to really give us the best quality music. He focused more on the quantity of songs on the album. So, you know, I'm hoping that even though this comes so shortly after his last project, I'm hoping that he took a little bit more time to really produce quality music. You know, we've only got 7 tracks on this EP, and so I'm hoping that he gets into his bag a little bit, because when Future's in his bag, he really is untouchable. You know, the trap music that he makes when he gets into his zone is just phenomenal. The beats go super hard. He is absolutely ridiculously wavy. The hooks get super catchy, and the music in general is just very high quality stuff. So that's what I'm hoping that we're gonna get on this. I'm not going into this expecting this to be better or worse than his last project. I'm just going to accept whatever he gives me and try to have an open mind for all of these tracks, because, you know, I would hate to be forming an opinion on this project before I even listen to it. I mean, I feel like that's enough of an introduction. Oh, I forgot to mention, I do reactions and reviews to my subscribers' music, so if you're into that and you want a video on your music, then hit me up on my Instagram. And with that being said, let's just jump right into this. The first track is Xanax, Damage. Let's get it. Already, this is extremely wavy. We've got the guitars, we've got the very subtle lo-fi beat. It kind of sounds like it's underwater. He's got the filter on his vocals, very emotional delivery, you know, very passionate vocals from Future, very sincere lyrics on this track so far. So this is already great. I'm already feeling the emotion that he wants me to feel with the sound that he's making on this song. You know, I'm already feeling like my heart was broken, even though it wasn't. You know, so this is definitely gonna set a very laid-back mood and vibe whenever you listen to it. So I'm enjoying this a lot, and we're only a couple seconds into it. So yeah, I'm feeling like this is gonna be great. Oh man, oh, this is it. What did I get myself into, bro? What am I in for here? This is wavy, bro. Undeniably great. I like this. Alright, yeah. The first comment I see on Genius is, that shit hurted. Yeah, man, it definitely gets you into your feelings. It gets you into that heartbroken vibe, for sure. And I mean, even if your heart hasn't been broken, it at least puts you in that state of mind to where you're relaxed and you're laid back and you're kind of just thinking about life. You know, it's a very well executed track. The production is fantastic. They kept it simple. They've got a really cool sounding 808. They've got a beastly sounding acoustic guitar with lots of filters over it. You know, the drum pattern is relatively simple. There's not too much going on, not a whole lot of percussion. It's again, they kept it simple because it's supposed to feel laid back, relaxed, and the focus is supposed to be on Future's delivery and the lyrics that he's singing on this track. So, yo, very wavy. Awesome vibes to this track. Future, you know, I'm hoping that we're in for something real special here. Next track is Saint Lucia. A lot of stuff going on right now. Loving the pitched up vocals. Yo, those melodies are insane. Yo, that dun 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 dun, that loop is ridiculous, bro. Is that I'm struggling to hear whether it's a acoustic guitar or a piano. I know they're two instruments that sound very different, but it's just, you know, my speaker's turned down kind of right now because there's some people sleeping in the other room, and so, you know, right now I'm struggling to hear exactly what instrument it is, but all I know is that it sounds really dope, dude. I think that the melodies so far on this beat have been absolutely crazy. This is feeling like a more braggadocious track. You know, that last one felt like, you know, oh, this girl hurt me and I'm not myself when I'm with her and all that. And then this one is like, I don't really need you. This is the kind of vibe that I'm getting from this track. I want to say it's a piano. It sounds great. Yeah. I don't want to make excuses, but she let me do it in advance. Oh my god. Oh, the melodies went up an octave. Awesome energy. Oh my god. Damn. I'm a beat dog, I'm a spinning no excuses. Yeah, that one's more braggadocious, it's more upbeat. The production is great, you know, it's got some guitars, it's got some pianos, it's got really catchy melodies. It's got a really wavy vibe to it, you know, the 808s are great, the beat goes hard. And Future's delivery is that really braggadocious, confident delivery that we expect from Future on these types of tracks. You know, he's very, I mean, he's flexing, you know, it is what it is. He's flexing on somebody that broke his heart, you know, saying basically, I don't need you. So it's a great track, dude. This is the type of stuff that I expect when I listen to Future tracks. So this is awesome so far. Please tell me I can throw the sunset. Please tell me how to fucking buy. Oh, I love that flute. Yeah. She never had my status. Hold on first. Put it on the big boy range. Put it on the big boy sprite. This is dope. Okay. This rides, bro. That flute is sexy. If I buy you the mess, I'm being cautious. This is great, man. Very sensitive, very emotional side to Future. He basically wants to spoil this woman, you know? He's saying, please tell me I can buy you all this different stuff. This all this name brand stuff, you know, bags, diamonds, pearls, jewelry, Rolexes, I mean, you name it. Please tell me I can buy this all for you. So it's like he's really in love with this person and he just wants to spoil them and give them everything that they want. The concept of the track is basically that. It's relatively simple, but the execution is great, you know? 2 verses. The flow is switched up on the second verse to keep things interesting. The hook is pretty catchy. The beat is great. It's very wavy. Love the flute. I think it's mixed well. You know, it's a fire track. Next track is Shotgun. Peep the vocals, bro. Those keys are beautiful. Very reverberant. This delivery kind of reminds me of Use Me, which is an awesome track. Yo, his delivery and his performance on this really reminds me of Use Me, which I think is an excellent track. I think that it shows how passionate and emotional he can be on a track like this. It shows off his softer side. It's not as braggadocious. He's not flexing as hard as he normally does. It's a side of Future that I think personally is really enjoyable to hear. I really enjoy when he makes music like this. I think this is awesome, you know? I feel like this is a lane that he could definitely stay in and excel in, you know? He's great at this. I just went out of Araujo to do some recruiting. For the government official. Yeah. Those melodies are so awesome. They're very creepy, very haunting. When the Lagos, Nigeria, traveled coast to coast. This is fire. It sounds so dark. She see the better side of me. She threw us a party. I got it one fun spill, so they record me. I just went out of Araujo to got your twin sister, yeah, squirt, they be shooting. Don't get squirt on the shirt, be a fool. I don't know if it was the ecstasy that made you a millionaire. The track is fire. Sounds dark, sounds eerie and creepy. I love those melodies. The bells are They're insane. It's a really quick track. This is more of a braggadocious, more of an upbeat song, you know, and his performance has been pretty consistent throughout this entire thing. You know, it's more of the quality that I would expect from him. I'm enjoying this more than I enjoyed my first listen to The Wizard, for sure. You know, so I feel like he took some time to really focus when he made these tracks. This has been great. This has really been cool. I love that sample, bro. Yo, in my feelings, bro. This is smooth. That's so fire, bro. His vocals on this project have been phenomenal. Phenomenal performance. Like I said, his vocals on this entire project have been so awesome. There's a whole lot of emotion in his delivery, and you can hear it in his performance. And that is what gets people to feel things. You know, the production has been great. All the beats have really been either very wavy or very fire on the upbeat tracks. And they set a really great tone. It's a really great base for him to really kill it in his performance. But it's his performance that really sets that tone for the listener to feel what he's feeling. And I know I've mentioned it before, but his execution on these tracks has been so much better, to me personally, than it was on The Wizard. And that's why this has been more enjoyable to me, is because it's more authentic, or at least it feels more authentic, you know? Because who knows if this is actually what he's feeling. I assume so, because, you know, it's his art, and normally people put their feelings and their emotions into their art. But even if this were all just performance, even if this were all just an act, it still works, which is why I'm so impressed by it, because it's very well executed, you know? So the last track is Love Thy Enemies. Closing it out with a really smooth acoustic guitar. I like it. Man. Insane vibe to close this out, you know. This is definitely one of those tracks that will make you get lost in your feelings and your emotions and your thoughts. I really like the way that it was mixed. His vocals, you know, they added lots of layers, and they added some filters, a lot of reverb, to really make it feel spaced out and surreal almost, you know. I really enjoy that it's very minimal drums and a really cool, smooth acoustic guitar. It's got a really cool vibe to this track, man. And I feel like it's a great track to close the project out, you know, because it's really beautiful and very emotional. So yeah, man, my thoughts on this EP are that it feels better executed than The Wizard. I like that there are way fewer tracks, because I always have the impression that fewer tracks means more focus on the quality of each individual track. And I feel like this is absolutely quality music. It feels authentic, it feels sincere, it feels like he really poured his heart out into this music, and it really makes you feel when you listen to it. It gets you into the same mind state, into that same zone that he's in. And the great thing about music is that it takes you places, it transports you to different thoughts and emotions. Even if you're feeling great, if you listen to a lot of sad music, at the end of the day, you might feel a little more mellowed out, a little sadder, because music does that. Music can affect you. And in the same way, when you're having a terrible day and you listen to music that you can relate to, that will bring your spirits and your mood up, you know, by the end of the day, you'll feel a little better. So this feels beautiful. It feels healing, you know. It feels healing because it feels like he needed to get this off his chest, and that by doing so, it healed whatever emotions he was going through, whatever anger or angst or pain he was going through, and it shows in the music, you know. And personally, you may think that I may be going too deep, and it's not that deep, and it's very superficial actually, and I'm reading too much into it. But that's what I got when I listened to it, man. You guys are here for my opinions on this project, and it made me feel, dude. It made me feel. It definitely put me into a mellowed out mood, and you know, it's cool that you guys had different reactions to it. So yeah, you can let me know what you think about this EP in the comments section, but I personally really enjoyed it, and I think that it's great, and it's a very quick listen, so if you haven't heard this, then you should definitely give it a shot. And if you're not a fan of Future, this doesn't really sound like a lot of his other music, so you should still listen to this. Thank you all so much for watching. If you've been enjoying the content, consider supporting the channel with your subscription, or by following me on my social media, or one of the more major and impactful ways that you can affect this channel's growth is by becoming a patron on Patreon. That'd be a really dope way to show support. I, for one, am very appreciative of all of my patrons. They help me to make these videos full-time for you guys. It helps me to keep the quality of these videos as high as I can and to produce the content as often as I can. I saw a comment that was like, what did we do to deserve 4 videos in a week? Well, it's the patrons that allow stuff like that to happen. So yeah, if you feel like showing any type of support at all for the channel, I'd really appreciate it. I'll be back in another video very, very soon. So I'll see you then. Until then, guys, stay safe. Peace.